Hello viewers. Alrighty. So excuse me. So now today's video is gonna be about some type of invention idea that I have. Alright. So this is an invention idea, and it sprouted in my mind after seeing this issue at multiple people I know they have. Uh, to bring out their garbage cans out to the street where the garbage man would pick up the garbage. So, excuse me. So, because if they don't pick up the garbage, if it's not unless it's by the curb, they don't pick up the garbage. It has to be outside, so the garbage truck would pick it up. Excuse me. So, and I guess if it's a small house and if you are by yourself with your spouse, maybe I don't know, but oh wait, gotta fix my. So, but different places. Even I lived with roommates. There was a big problem that if the garbage is not picked up, you're in trouble for simple reason. Where you gonna put the garbage? So, and the garbage accumulates fast, as you know. So, it happened multiple times. At one place, we have two garbage cans, and the landlord forgot to take the garbage out, and everybody else was busy or whatever. It wasn't put to the curb, so the garbage can is filled up now, and every single day the new garbage is coming in. Now we have to wait approximately another 7 days for the next delivery day to come up. And so we start putting the garbage on the top of the garbage can, and then we end up putting in the garage. It was bad. It's bad. Then it brings bugs, roaches, rats, mice, raccoons, or whatever. Okay, so now, so it's not just that. There are people who are elderly. There are people who are disabled, and they just they can't push the garbage can out to the curb, and it's a project for elderly and for people who are disabled, or even for people who are busy. Believe it or not, people, they are it's doesn't sound much, but people forget. And here's another issue which is also related to that. If you put the garbage can out by the curb a night before, let's say the garbage gets picked up at 9 o'clock in the morning, let's suppose. Well, before you go to sleep at 10 p.m. the day before, around 10 o'clock, let's say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, or you put it by the curb, and now you go to bed and you go to sleep. Now the garbage can is by the curb for all these hours. Now in your case, if there's enough distance between the garbage can and the street, or the street traffic or road traffic itself, you're fine. There was only in Chicago they pick up the garbage in the alleys. That's another thing. But in Florida, I actually noticed in some cities they don't have alleys, or at least there probably are alleys I never visited or maybe noticed, but the garbage is picked up on the main street in the front or in the side street, but it's a street. You have to drag your garbage can there. So uh, in Chicago was not an issue. You just leave it in the alley and they would come, the truck would come and they would pick it up. But still, if it's actually too much sticking out in the alley, it would get hit by the traffic. It did happen actually, I remember. Even in the place where we were living, and my wife, she said this is something is going on in the back, and there were somebody called the cops or something, and so they said that somebody hit the garbage can. But in Florida, I see this is closer to the street. Well, I really don't know what's the why it has to be so close. I mean, I was living in Deltona, at my other location, and garbage cans were getting hit constantly. They were all over the street, and people were complaining. They said, so my landlord, he says, someone across the street, they have this garbage can got hit by some traffic. What they said, it got hit by a traffic because the garbage can was cracked. But somebody said no, the garbage can was first tipped over by the wind, and then it got hit by some other car. Well, we don't know, but that's what they were talking about, and that kind of stuck in my head. But coming back to that's also part of my possible invention idea is that also that you're preventing accidents or whatever. And anything in life which is avoided a potential problem or issue is plus, because it saves you from time and suffering or stress, and your time is everything. Less time you want to spend on resolving the issue, or less time being stressed is everything. Less time being stressed equal more happiness and more freedom. All right, so coming back, and that's what the whole idea of this idea is, invention idea. That so, and on the top of that, so what happens is that my invention is basically this. It's a dolly, a Carter dolly. It has a small engine or motor, you can say. It could have multiple fuel system. It could be recharged by the solar panels, number one. Then backup, you can add a small little tiny tank for the gas or propane. Since the whole dolly is going to be small, so it should be a small engine, depending how much bigger your garbage cans are or how many garbage. Okay, so you can add, one is motor that runs on solar power, and then the battery charges because it's going to be outside anyways, getting the sun. Excuse me. And number two is going to be that the battery should have dual charging system. One, it could be charged from the solar, other it could be charged from inside the house, because a lot of people, they said we don't want to leave our garbage out anyways. It should be in the garage or a covered, like a shed or something, so the bears or wild animals or rats cannot get in. It makes sense. So if you have a dual power system, you can charge the dolly or cart, should be able to charge from the wall socket, electrical circuit system. All right. And the other one obviously would be, you can add as a solar panel if you want to add that as additional. And the third should be, you can add propane or gas or gasoline. And so it's basically just a cart at this point, because you can use it as a multiple purposes. So you should be able to add a remote to it and make it automated and remote. So because it's on your property, so your remote range should work, but you can install antennas, which okay. Uh, so now, instead of leaving the garbage cans out by the curb for the whole night, you're taking a lot of risk getting hit or turned over by the wind, and neighbor can complain or whatever, or it's a safety hazard, safety issue, getting hit by traffic. All right. So now, because of this automated self-powered car, Kurt or Dolly, whatever you want to call, since most of the city, well, almost all the cities, their day and the time is set. In Chicago, I remember it was around 10 o'clock. And so, well, if that I would do is this. Let's say I know in my city, let's suppose it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not gonna take a risk just sending my car to program to go there half an hour early. No, I would. If it's at 10 a.m., then I can send it there at 7 a.m. 7, 8, 9, 10. So only 3 hours early. So that I know, or maybe 2 hours early, because usually the garbage pickup trucks are late, but they are rarely early. And even when they are early, they are only early maybe half an hour. So, alright, so there's a big difference. I left the garbage can at 10 p.m. at night, and then the garbage gets picked up 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's 12 hours or 10 hours, I don't know. I failed my math test horribly. So, and you know what they say, 5 out of 3 people are bad at math. Actually, this is actually a scientific fact. 5 out of every 3 people, they're bad at math. Okay, so now so from 10 to 10, how many hours? I still don't know. I have to go Google it maybe. Is it 10 hours or 12 hours? Okay. Well, you got the idea, right? Okay. So now, instead of leaving your garbage can exposed to all this accident or whatever, or people even, okay, so it's out. Now it's only gonna be out for 3 hours out. Or 2 hours or whatever, or if you can talk to your city, the delivery thing, or you can just see through your neighbors, or you can just observe. If it's mostly around that time, you can add an extra hour and you can program it. And now you have 2 options. You can remotely send it if you are awake, or you can or you can program it. So you program it, or you can remotely just send it through your phone or app or whatever. Okay. Now, since the project is done and now the garbage can, they would pick it up, and as soon as by the way, when the truck comes, they can just lift the garbage can and it will be detachable. It will be just sitting on it. The dolly should be tall enough that they are sitting on it, they won't tip over while the dolly is moving. Or you can come up with multiple ideas for the garbage can to stay on it. You can create some type of a holding bar, or you can just move, or whatever, lock system or anything, so that would be additional. But the main idea is the garbage can should be an easy access for the garbage truck people to pick up the garbage can and throw it in the garbage in their truck. And once it's done, it should drive back to itself. It's their station or their platform where they're going to be charging or whatever. And then after that, you can make a sliding plate on it that the garbage cans would be sitting, so they're easily removable, and you just take off the garbage cans on that plate, put them on the side, and then you can use the dolly for other purposes, especially if you're disabled. You can move stuff around in the garden, or if you have a farm, you can use it on your farm, obviously, or even in the house to move stuff around. Or let's say there's a grocery deliveries, um, and uh, they just put it outside. In some cases, when I was living in Chicago, there were the delivery situation as such that they put it like they have big front yard and there was a gate there. So sometimes the delivery person would walk in, and sometimes the gate is closed for security reasons, depending on the settings. But I have seen a lot of places where the delivery person has to leave the stuff in the front. Um, Now you can leave your dolly actually there uh, inside of your gate, and your gate could have a code or what. Now they're coming up with all these ideas with Amazon delivery actually. So you can actually. That's now I just got an idea. Once your Amazon or whatever Walmart delivery is delivered, and a lot of times they're heavy packages. You can't carry, and you tell me who doesn't have a back, hip, or ankle issue in America. It's crazy. So uh, you can just the delivery person would just put it there, and now since you're gonna have a remote, you just use the remote or through your app if it's more a little bit more advanced, and that thing would just crawl right wherever you want it to be crawled at too or whatever. Now you have a delivery right at your door. So now I can show you some of the stuff I see here on okay wait let's see. Okay, what I'm gonna try. Okay, let's see. um, okay, I'm gonna show you.